Thank you guys for coming in.
How's
Thank you for
everybody
joining us
doing?
tonight. What's going on here?
Welcome,
It's Wednesday.
welcome.
Is it hump?
It is hump day.
It's hump
Officially.
day. What?
It's yeah.
Oh
Thank you
my
for joining
goodness.
us, everybody.
So we are in here like swimwear. We've already gotten the eyeballs. You
Mhm.
know, the big eyeballs. So I asked one of them, I said, who put these eyeballs here? Where all these eyeballs come from? Hey, Brittany, how you, darling? Thanks for joining. I was talking about you earlier today. Thank you for being a part of our broadcast. You're amazing. Appreciate you so very much. So the rest of you all that are a part of our family, we want to know where you at. How are you guys doing today? For those of you, for those of you, if this is your first time, please, ma'am, please, sir, let us know where you're hailing from so that we can know. The other day at church, honey, we had someone all the way in Jerusalem watching the broadcast, listening to you preach, and you did an amazing. Oh my God, you do that. I was like, yes, Lord. See, it's amazing. I just love it, and it's all you've always been like that, you know. And so it just makes me feel even that much more better. I'm like, yes, Natasha, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Hello, beautiful couple coaches. I love it. Thank you for sharing. You're amazing. Oh yes, Brittany, thank you so much. You're amazing. Hey, True Movement, thank you for joining us tonight. Y'all come on in the room. Alexander 1002 is with us tonight. We have started last night. We were talking. We read just a little bit, and we didn't even read all that we were going to read out of our book. This is Erogenous Zones Exploring Marital Intimacy. This is our second book that we wrote together, Pastor G and myself. And I'm telling you what, this book right here is off the chain. And I'm not saying that just because we wrote it.
Yeah.
I'm not, because y'all know how I say it. It ain't bragging if you can back it up. And so
this is a labor of love.
Yes.
So much of us was
Went
poured
into
into this,
yeah.
and there's so much more that has come out since
then.
then.
True. Very
That
true.
I'm not saying that we need to write another book, but
But it's probably gonna
it's
happen.
just it's a
It's just a
tiring,
matter of
it's a
time.
process.
It
It's a
is.
tiring process.
It really can
So,
be.
but anyway, a lot went into this one, and if you haven't got it, I want to urge you to pick it up.
Yes.
It's going to absolutely bless your life. If you are in the have your eyesight on marriage at some point,
Yeah.
you want to be married and you want to be happily, you want to do it right.
That part.
And I'm not going to boast and say that we're the only ones who are doing it right, or but you know, we have been blessed to find each other, and the Bible says, "Happy is a man that findeth a wife; he findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord." Oh man,
Listen.
and I have obtained more favor than I deserve. But thank you, darling.
Thank you. You're so sweet. Hey, John, thank you for joining. I see Sister Kim is with us, Mrs. Hargrove.
Hello.
She says hello. Hello. Brittany asked, can it help a single person? It can help you, but you don't want to read it right now.
Yeah. Now, if you're in the place where you're ready to get married and you want to do it the right way, it's going to
you want to have this in your treasure trove, your treasure chest.
There you have a treasure chest. You need they used to call it a hope chest.
A hope chest, right.
Back in the day.
And this is something that you're going to be able to read it over and over. She is laughing at us. I am so serious right now. Because, you know, some books are kind of technical, and we do have some technical terms in here. But for the most part, this is written so that the average person can sit down and read through it and not think, oh, my God, here we go. I got to learn the mechanics of this. No, we're giving you the secrets, the tools that's going to help you. Because one thing that marriage is different than having a roommate. A roommate is someone that you live together with, you may eat together with, you may even do projects together, do work together, you may share in chores and things of that nature. But for the most part, a roommate is not someone that you're going to just fall into each other's genitals. I mean, unless that's the type of relationship y'all got.
People end up doing.
Yes, they do.
Brittany, but lean in here real close. I'm gonna just tell you this. I'm not going to tell the other folks because I don't want.
We don't want everybody to know.
Sometimes the
Very
spirits
true.
with some people, they're just not trainable. But if you have a husband or wife, or you've got somebody who you need to train just a little bit.
What he's trying to say, for those of you that don't understand GDs, is that some folks are lacking in skill level. And sometimes the lack in skill level is only because you've never had that before.
And it could be either husband or wife that needs that.
And if you've done it the way that the good Lord intended it, you were exploring and finding all of these things out together for the first time.
That's right.
The problem comes in is that for the most part, and we said this last night, that 90% of people that come together to get married, even those that are believers, and we believe the word and we believe that God said to have this to be sacred inside of the confines of a marriage relationship, that 90% of them ain't did that.
They have already opened the box.
Right. Oh my God. And now that the box is open, they're still trying to fiddle around to see what's in this box. The string, the ribbon, all of those things has kind of bamboozled them just a little bit. And so they're trying their very best. But some people are lacking of skill. Some people are lacking, what's the word, in control. Okay. And so if that's where we are, then we have to deal with those issues.
And we do talk about some precautionary things if those are the case.
Yes.
But it's when we received our bodies, we did not get a manual.
That part. Come on.
And so sometimes you need a little manual, a little help.
Yes, Lord.
That is outside of or it is in the intellect. I say intellect, practical area.
Yeah, come on.
And we talk about research and development.
Yes.
Taking the gift that you have been blessed with at the altar,
yes,
where God joined you together and you became a threefold cord. So if you can't tell already, we're in the zone. This is our juice. This is what we like to deal with. And we believe that God has blessed us with the ability to do it well, and to help that to translate to you getting a quality product. That when you get married, you are prepared.
You got a source.
You have a source that you can go to. And if you link up with Marriage Makes Three, even though we may not be there physically, we're going to be there with you at the altar.
Oh, yes.
Okay. We're going to help prepare you. And that if you need a resource later on, we're going to be there for you.
Right.
So that's one of the things that Marriage Makes Three is before and after. I do.
And everywhere
in between.
Right? Yes. And so here's the thing. Thank you, Kimmy Doll. She says she shared it 7 watch parties and shared in 7 groups. Thank you, Kimmy Doll. All right. And so here's the thing is that when we're talking about intimacy, which is where we started last night, we're talking about the elements of intimacy. And we started talking last night about that communication portion of it, that you have to learn how to converse with your husband, with your wife. Yes, to before and after I do. Amen. So I know some of y'all are like, but this don't have nothing to do with me. No, it may not right now. However, these are things that once you know them, you'll be able to implement them at the right time. We are at the place where, you may have a small child and they see the mechanics of how to operate a vehicle. They know you put your hands on the wheel. They know that there is a gas pedal and a brake. And so they kind of watch you and see what's going on and how to work that thing. They can't be able to get a license until they're 14, 15, and 16 years old, but they know that there is a mechanic that goes along with it. And that's where we're here for. For those of you that are in here and you are in the before I do category, and that's the greatest place that you want to be, because that's the place where you can know about yourself, learn about who you are, what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, baby, if anything will do, anything will come.
Oh my
Your
goodness.
daughters are watching, absolutely.
Awesome.
And so one of the things that we did do, because I remember it was last night that one of you all asked us a question, and my mind, I was working on something, and so my mind was on premarital. I totally forgot about that, getting prepared, because what she wanted information on was getting prepared for dating. How do I know myself? What am I supposed to be looking for? And so what we did was and it's already on the site. I just forgot that it was up there. That's sometimes when you have efficiency, when you've got people around you that can do the work, when you've got folks that know how to multitask. I mean multitask. That is what we're talking about. And so this is the first we did the dateology, which you can find on the site. It's absolutely free. It's a download. It's got 4 hours of video that's going to help you. It's going to come in your email. You have to pay $0.25 for it. You're going to go through dateology. After dateology, the next level that you can go to is this thing that we have called the Dating to Destiny kit.
Wow.
And this kit, y'all, let me tell you something. This kit, she says, I'm getting it. Thank you. This kit is one of those that's going to show you what you need to do in order to overcome your fear of going out on a date. What are we supposed to be asking? There's all sorts of things. And so this first product, this Dating to Destiny, is going to help you to know who you are, and is going to help you to know that when I'm going out looking for someone else, what I'm looking for. And listen, we went past that and we did Dating 101. This is dateology, dishing the basics of dating. Some of y'all don't understand that everybody is not a soulmate. And I know we've been brought up with this romantic idea that there's this one person in the whole entire world that is just for me. But what if they in Cambodia? What if they're across the world and you ain't never been out of your city? What we gonna do then? And so we don't believe in soulmates. We believe in super compatibility. And so this particular resource, this was a 5-hour intensive that we did. We went through deliverance. We went through the economy of dating. We went through the dating funnel, which we penned here. Amen. We went through what else? We talked about different our personality traits and types and how to get along in between those. Oh my goodness, this is chock full.
Very intensive. And this will absolutely help to prepare you.
Yes.
There are some people, I think, if they had read this, and I think that perhaps if you are already in the hormone zone, if your mind is already out there, you're not going to slow down to read this.
Right.
So if we could get this in more people and more young people, get it in their hands right now.
Lord.
And there are some who are moms and dads who you raise your children, or you're raising your children by yourself.
Yes.
And you're thinking about that you need somebody in your life. You need to begin to date. You're at that point. And this will absolutely help you to make good decisions, good godly decisions. Now you got your hormones in check. By the time you have kids and settle down a little bit, at least you're able to think without that thing on your back, right? So at least you're able to think through this.
Yes.
So get this and
yes,
go through this process so that God can align you.
Absolutely.
To meet someone
that is going to be for you, someone that you can work together with. Because when we come together, just because we're on that first portion of the dating funnel, and y'all listen, you get the workbook. The workbook is included. You get it in the download. You get the 5-hour intensive, and you're able to go through this. The dating funnel. A lot of us get stuck in this first part. A lot of us get stuck in that presentation, the packaging. We get stuck on the pretty. We get stuck on the facade, the outside. And then we realize later that cute ain't covering it.
Yeah. What was that? Cute and romance. Cute and finance.
No. What was it? cute, not cute and coins. I'll remember it.
We probably shouldn't tell you.
Yeah, because we're gonna need that. You're absolutely right. We're gonna need that. It was good. We were talking this earlier today, and it just popped out. I was like, "Ooh, I gotta write that down." Some things are inspired by the Lord. You can never come up with them in a million years. And so we were able to get together and do these. And this 5-hour intensive, let me tell you guys something. This is something that is going to help you to propel you to that place where you know you're ready. You know what questions to ask. You know the types of questions to put forth. What as far as what types? Open question, open-ended questions, close-ended questions, probing questions. God bless you. You know you got to repent now, right?
Sorry, guys.
Y'all, you all know that now if you cough or you sneeze, that it's a sin. Because people will look at you like they're about to condemn you to hell. I am not lying to you. I'm going to need the Mr. Virus, whoever you may be, to go on back to where you came from. Loose the people of God, because we can't deal with this. You can't come at the same time. You either got to take a turn or something. Y'all trying to come at the same time where we've got allergy season going on here in the South. What is going on right now? So I'm sorry.
No. That's all right, baby. Our daughter's over there in Georgia.
Oh my goodness. Probably
where they're getting ready to open the doors.
Real heavy on the pretty. Come on now. Some of them are pretty, but you know what? There's people are cute and they're serial killers.
Takes a whole lot. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Because if you look at, you remember that guy? He had blue eyes, I think it was, and he was light skinned, and they had arrested him. I don't even remember what they arrested him for. He went to jail, and all the people were talking about, let him go. I'm like, let him go? What are you talking about? Because he was fine. And I'm like, hold on. So wait, time out.
Most of them were lights.
Well, here was my thing.
I know what you're saying.
So because he's fine, it just wipes the slate clean. And you know, we were watching something one time, and it was incredible that people that were they had two sets of people, some average looking folks, and then they had some very gorgeous people. And y'all, let's just keep it funky. God made some of us pleasing to the eye, and some of us he made us pleasing to him. Okay. And so there are some things that we have found scientifically that people they kind of go towards. People like symmetrical faces. If you got an eye and your eye sits out and it looks that way while this eye's looking this way, you might be cute all over, but because of that one thing, people are more apt to choose the other person. Okay. And we found out that the people that went in, they had the audience, they were the jury, and they had the people come in with the same infraction, but they were the ones to make the judgments on how many years, etc., that they thought that they should get because they were already convicted. Okay, so they come in, all of them came in with the conviction. And did you know that the people, the pretty people, they were letting them off like, oh, you poor baby. It was just a mistake. You didn't know what you were doing. But the people that weren't, you know, the gorgeous ones, the magazine covers, they almost put them away for good. Like they was giving folks the death penalty, and all they did was steal a loaf of bread. Listen.
Because justice is not
blind. Exactly. I'm quarantined. I can't relate to no one else. I barely go outside.
Colorblind.
Okay. She said, bless their heart. Hey, Sister Shirley, thank you for joining. Sister Shirley said, this is allergies and asthma season for me too. Amen. And Sister Shirley says, the looks don't pay bills and show love. I know you're right about it. However, we have a fixation on physicality. Absolutely. That's the first line of the funnel.
stuck in the funnel.
We stuck in the first part of the funnel. You can't even funnel it down to get to the concentration what you need. So said all that to say this. Go on over and get that dating 101. You can find Dating to Destiny. It's over at marriagemakes3.com, or you can check the link in the bio, bit.ly/mm3links. Oh my goodness. So whew, all of that had nothing to do, hardly.
All of that was
with what we were talking about tonight. But it's okay, because this is something that we can continue on and deal with and discuss. So for those of you that don't know, I'm Pastor Michelle. And this is my sweet husband, Pastor G. We are spiritual relationship counselors. We are veterans of the United States Air Force and your go-to couple for all things relationship. So we started last night talking about this thing called what did it call? The elements of relationship intimacy. And we talked about how we have to come together, that there are different places in intimacy when we're talking about in a relationship. And so we have to display all of the elements. Now, tonight, we did read some of our book, which we were telling you guys about when we first got started.
Yes.
So Marital Intimacy is the book. We've been reading from the place called Conversation, page 121 in our book. And one of the young women, they said this, that they feel as though they are being treated as a piece of meat.
Yeah.
When their husbands has nothing to say to them all day long, all week long, until they want some. And we define some as sexual activities. We define none as no sexual activities. And sometimes never shall the twain meet. Okay? Kimmy Doll says that everything that look good may not be good for you. That part. Everything that glitters ain't gold, and everything that shines is not a diamond. Know your worth as a person.
Wow.
Absolutely correct. Thank you for dropping that. That is absolutely the truth.
If it undercuts or does not show a value to your
Come
worth,
on.
then
That's not for you.
I wonder if you really need
That's
it in
right.
your life.
The hair is popping. Pastor G's ain't bad either. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Just watching.
I'll just be watching. So here on page 121, my husband spoke some things last night that were absolutely, they were inspiring, they were timely, they were deliberate. And I'm telling you what, the Lord has a way of pinpointing just what we need when we need it. One thing that he let us know is that we have to set the mood with our conversation, that we have to know that there has to be a way to stage for intercourse. And we're not saying that we're always supposed to only speak, or that the gentlemen are only supposed to come at us when they want some. That's right? That they need to learn that we are women, most of us, not all of us, but for the most part, we speak more. We have a greater need for interaction. And so you all as husbands, you have to push yourself just a little bit further. You have to go what Christ said, he went another mile. He went a little bit further. Right? And so sometimes you as gentlemen, you have to go a little bit further because you love your wife. Amen. I didn't see no amens in the chat, but I'm going to assume that your mind and your soul and your spirit said amen when I said it. All right. And you want for there to be peace and harmony in your home. And how do we do that? We have to come together. We have to realize what each other's needs are and begin to anticipate them and then to fulfill those needs.
That's right.
Okay.
Apart from even when there is no end in sight.
Come on.
So in other words, if you're not getting any,
right,
you're still doing those things. You're still sowing into her life.
Yes.
You're still motivating, encouraging, doing all of those things. Because even sadly, even a person who is unmarried, a person who is going outside of their marriage, they bring gifts. They may bring a gift. If they're paying for services, at least they have something in their hand.
Exactly.
Right? And that's not at all where we're trying to go. What we're saying to you is that there must be a deliberate conversation,
Oh yeah,
intentionally ongoing
yes,
in your relationship. And you'll find that was the case with Solomon, is that he wooed his wife. Of course, he had quite a few more than you do, 300 wives, 600 concubines.
Okay.
So he had 1,000 of them. But one in particular, we see an example of his proudness in terms of conversation. She conversed with him, he conversed with her, she conversed with him.
They were playing.
Absolutely. And so you need to
learn how to play together. And
I love it, baby.
Not only when it's time for that, but we need to learn how to play with one another at all times, when we're walking, when we're hanging out, when we're
keep the dialogue going. Gentlemen, if you will remember something that she said, here's how your stock can go way up.
Y'all better lean in.
You are working in the middle of your day or at the end of your day, at some point in your day, you remember something that she was saying to you when you were tuning out. You know, I was really sleepy, but I remember her saying, if you will call her and remind her of what she said and that how it had an impact on you or how you couldn't get her out of your mind after that. Come on. That's one way that your stock is going to go up. Come on. Don't you want your stock to go up? I was thinking about you.
What?
And you want to, and if you will do those kinds of things, Tony Evans said that she will have tears in her eyes when you come up in her mind. Only Tony Evans. If you would do those kinds of things, you will be unforgettable. That's what you are. Come on, you will be unforgettable. And your stock will soar and soar. That's what intimacy is about. It's about telling her some things. It's about listening to her in conversation. That's what intimacy involves. It involves you putting aside your tiredness, putting aside what else you may go on. You know, they used to have a VCR thing where you could record the game, even if you weren't home, you could put the switch. And then they had the DVD where you can do the same thing. Now they have the DVRs and some other things where you can replay your whatever it is you wanted to watch. And you all know, some of you all are, you don't understand when women get into soap operas, or some men, how people get into these soap operas, right? You're the same way when it comes to sports. Did you know that? You're the same exact way when it comes to sport. So if she can have her things, if you can have your things, why can't she have her stuff? Take an interest in her interest. When you sacrifice, when you go beyond yourself and say, I want to make something special for her. I want to do something special. I want it to be memorable. With some of you, when you talk, when you really open up and you laugh with her and you talk with her and you sing with her and you dance with her across the room, that's the way your stock can go up. Y'all share the broadcast. We're moving into the content. We're talking about relationship intimacy.
Yes, the elements of relationship intimacy.
Thank you, honey.
Kimmy Dawn said cookie points. Come on, cookie points. Yeah. Yes, Lord. Sister Shirley says, when you value her or him, show it. It will take you far in the relationship. Yes. And Bless Up said, that's it right there. What if he liked the game more? Well, then he ain't going to get more. He ain't going to get none. That's what we were talking about, right? Hey, Wendy, thank you all for joining.
Thanks, Wendy.
All right. So here's the thing. She said, kick him to the curb. So on page 122, I want to read just a little bit of this to you before we go into the 9 elements. I think we're going to be working on this next week.
Yeah.
because we're not getting very far. Here we say, ask her about herself, her likes, her hopes, and her dreams. Even if you've heard it before, what did the man just tell you? Listen intently and respond in kind. Besides this, our mates do change over time, as do their needs. One of the greatest mistakes we can make is failing to notice or to facilitate those changes. Leave no doubt that you're fully interested, listening, and fully engaged. Hello.
Come on.
Let me tell you something. When a man is fully engaged, ladies, when your man is fully engaged with you and you know that you're not having to compete with anything else, you don't have to compete with the game. You don't have to compete with no jump off, no side chick, no relationship pass. When you know that you have his whole ear and you know that he has you in his heart, that he's concerned about you, he's calling you on the phone. He's bringing you little knickknacks, paddywhacks when he comes in from wherever he goes, because he knows that that's something that you like. It's not your birthday. It's not Christmas. It's not Mother's Day, but he's thinking about you and wants to make sure that you know that he's thinking about you.
Now, guys, the reason I can tell you that this is effective, because not only does it work in my life, but when you look at the responses these women make when you talk about these kinds of things, when she's listening to someone talk about relationships, notice her posture. Be in the moment. Don't just, you know, I'm a man. I'm a real man. I'm not crazy about Lifetime shows. I will watch them because it's something she's interested in. I'm there with the yelling, why is she so stupid to go in that room? You know? So I will, I'll go along with it, right? But when you notice that there's something she's interested in, this motivates her. She loves her baby. She loves you. She's your cheerleader, your number one cheerleader. And so you need to be concerned in her concern. Look at these ladies' response. There's laughter, there's laughs and tears. And they're commenting, cookie
You're
porn.
making deposits. And when you make deposits, what you're doing is you are saving up for a rainy day. Some of you don't understand the fat meat is greasy. You don't believe it.
And can I suggest that you may be cheating when you're taking from her the thing that she wants? She wants interaction with you, but you're finding, oh, my team is playing, honey, and it's my only day off. But she wants a little bit of your attention, not what's left when your team is lost, right?
And now
So I'm just suggesting that there are some other ways around that. Pull out the VCR, the DVR, the whatever you're recording on, and they have replay.
Yeah, they do.
This and this other one, they have this stuff where you can record it and not even, as long as your friends don't tell you, hey, you see the game, shut up.
Yeah, you tell them, well, I would have seen it, but I was busy, getting busy. Hello. Hey, CJ, what's up, man?
I found something even more important.
Yes, that I needed to take care of.
The Browns can play any Sunday. But,
Y'all, are y'all in here? Are you guys in here? Listen, if you haven't shared this, you need to get somebody else in here, because he is dropping all the jewels tonight. And you need some of your gentlemen to hear some of this, because some of them really don't have a clue. And this man is the master. I'm going to go on and tell it the truth. I've been married before. I know what I'm talking about. I've been in several relationships. And now that I am here, I'm like, well, where have you been my whole entire life?
Hello, Sherry.
Hey, Sherry, the Lord bless you. Here's the thing. When she said cookie points, what it made me think of is deposits.
Yes.
That sometimes, y'all, you feel like you're not getting none, because there's those times. Let's just keep it funky. If I'm exhausted because I done had your kids all day long, if I'm exhausted because I've been cooking and cleaning and doing all the other things, right?
And have a job outside the home. Remember, this is work, and you have to value what she's doing as work.
Yes.
If she wasn't in the house doing these things, you would have to hire someone to do it, or you would have to do it yourself. So you need to make sure that you are valuing her. Part of the intimacy is a recognition of what you bring to the table. And it's far more than what you're able to give me and what you can do for me.
Right.
And the way I can prolong that and make that better is to value it enough to drop those cookie points. Not just with the idea that I'm going to get some, but because it's the right thing to do, because this is mine. And nobody else is supposed, anybody else, they can say what they want. They can say all the nice things they want. But I've been praising. It's a sorry frog.
Don't praise its own home. Come on here. And then here's the thing. You may be in that place where you've just had a baby and you know you got 6 weeks. Okay, I know some of y'all don't wait that long. All right, I understand. But you're supposed to be 4 to 6 weeks after. Okay? And so when he is giving a point, when he is giving a deposit, then when he knows that there is nothing coming of it, okay, in our minds, when I'm sick as a dog and I can't do nothing and all you're doing is making sure I'm okay, you're bringing me hot soup, you're bringing me medications, you're doing all those things. Well, I know that you're doing this not because you're motivated by getting some later. And so what this does for us is it shows us that there is more to what's going on than what he's about to get out of it. This means that he is showing to me, he is saying to me, I am concerned about your concerns, that I am going to be here for the long haul, the long run, that if you get sick, because y'all remember we said those words while we got married, in sickness and in health. Some of them, as soon as they get a little cough or cold, you can't find them. Call your mama and them, tell the babies to get you this or that or the other. But when he's doing it, he is making those deposits into you that he can draw off of later. See, some of y'all don't get it. Hey, Danielle, she said later. You can draw off of the interest from that later on. You are now able to not have to work. Come on, gentlemen. You don't have to work as hard now because you have been doing it all along. I taught the children like this. It's easier to maintain than it is to clean. So when the kids were little, I would teach them, when you get out the bed, the first thing that you do, you'd say your prayers, but then you pull your sheets up, push them and straighten them out while you're still in the bed, right? When you get out, it's not a whole bunch to do. If you lay in the bed, roll around, the sheets is everywhere, and you just leave it like that, when you come back, now you got to make the entire bed, right? She said, yes, those deposits. So what you end up doing now is you just straightening up. If you wash dishes as they come, then in the end, you won't have a whole full thing of dishes. You'll just have to wash that bowl and that spoon that you just used. And now it's easier to maintain the thing than it is to go and do all of the work all over. So these deposits are here to help you, gentlemen, especially to know that you don't always have to work so hard to get in the drawers.
Oh my goodness. See, and you wonder, okay, I'm tired now because I've had to work so hard. And you start to think that, wow, it's been 6 months since I had it. It's gonna be another 6 months. It hasn't been that long.
Right.
But you haven't said a kind word, You haven't continued to invest. After you get some, you continue to invest in your man. You are to prove by being a servant in your home. That's right.
That's what he said.
Dwell with them according to knowledge.
Amen.
Be her servant. How can I serve you today, baby? What is it? And listen, I don't know what this little dumb thing is that people think you whipped if you are serving the one that you love. And
yes.
I may be whipped, but I'm getting some. I mean, look, it's dumb. You miserable and you walking funny. because ain't nothing happening, but you talking about somebody else quit. Shut your mouth. John, thank you for coming in here. Come on, rescue us, brother. John says women in the bush don't wait 6 weeks between babies. They're pregnant again in 3 weeks. Why American women so weak?
I'm telling you, you keep playing, sir. You keep playing the fool. Oh my God. Y'all, I'm telling you, y'all sitting out here playing. I told you the man is the master. Y'all don't believe that meat is greasy. Kimmy Doll said, if I'm doing all that and you wash some dishes, boy, you can get it. You can get it sooner because you took some chores off of my plate.
That's all I had to do. Listen, you need to be washing some dishes anyway. It's your house.
That's
you live
right.
there.
That's right.
She work outside the house. I'm just saying.
Oh my
I'm just
God.
saying that if you already doing that, you can. Yeah, you're right, brother. But some of y'all mad at me. Don't get mad.
Don't get mad.
Be glad. you know, step it up because look.
Okay.
We get at least one good one. When you get a real good one in your life, you know, value her, love her, honor her enough that you don't want her to be broke down and tired all the time. If she's sick, take care of her, meet her needs, serve her. And that's exactly what the Bible, what the Apostle Paul talks about when he says, dwell with her according to knowledge. That means to serve her. If she's throwing up, hold her hair back. You know, don't get, you know, some of us, we're like germaphobes. You know, you shouldn't be turning up your nose when it's somebody that you love and you're taking care of. They shouldn't feel like that they are a burden to you. I would be better off dead than to be sick by the way he looks at me because he can't stand to see me. I can't stand to see my wife sick. So I serve her so she can get better, you know? And so that's what we're saying, that if you want to, you have to create great relationships. They don't just happen along. You have to create them. And if they are working, continue to work them. If you have a field that is producing, continue to work that field. Don't just wait and say, look, when I get a good harvest, I'm shutting this one down. No, if you're getting a good harvest, keep sowing. Right. All right. I know that was a lot, guys. I know that's a lot. We're talking about
the elements of intimacy. There's 9 of them that we ain't gotten to one.
No. But
it's all good.
Yeah.
So bless up, y'all. Let me see. Oh shoot, should we even go to number 1?
Yeah, I think this is a good intro.
A good
and
intro,
and we can
work
maybe
on
we can
tomorrow.
Introduce the first one.
Okay.
Just tell them what it is, so you can come back tomorrow night.
Bless. Let me see the number 1s in the chat, you guys, as we're talking about this. And if you haven't shared this, invited someone, please do that because we understand intimacy. We understand relationships in there. That's what we do. We're spiritual relationship counselors, veterans of the United States Air Force, your go-to couple for all things relationship. And why is this hair wanting to just do what it want to do? Ain't that some stuff? So find us here. We're here Tuesday through Thursday between 9 and 9:30-ish Central Standard Time. Giving you tools to help you to get your relationships on and popping. All right. We're talking tonight about the elements of intimacy. There's 9 of them that we have identified. Want you to be also sure to go over to our site, bit.ly/mm3 links, or to marriagemakes3.com. You can find our book, Erogenous Zones, Exploring Marital Intimacy. All right. So let me read some of these comments as I'm waiting for those number 1s in the chat. Bless Up says it's just like cleaning while cooking. Yes, you're making the deposit, you're maintaining them, and now that it's time for you to go back in, you don't have to start all the way over from scratch. Hey, Scarlett Rose, the singer, God bless you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Sister Shirley says, when you drive 45 miles every day to see me and feed me in the hospital, I got double fudge cookies for you. Come on now. You see, this is what I'm talking about. I had an appointment early this morning. And it was 6 o'clock. Now, y'all know I don't be up at that time. I'm usually just going to bed at that time. And so at 6 o'clock this morning, when I'm waking up, my husband is up and I'm like, what are you doing awake? And I was like, and where are you going? He says, I'm going to make you some coffee. What? I was just sitting in the bed like, I wasn't even thinking about drinking coffee today, but I'm finna drink some coffee now because that man put his finger in that cup and made that thing just as sweet as possible. Why? Because he was making those deposits for me. He didn't have to do it. I wouldn't have even been mad had I not had coffee, had he not gotten up and gotten me any. But you know what? He loves me, and I know that. You know what I'm saying? And it makes a difference when you know somebody loves you. They don't just talk about it, but they be about their thing. You're just ready to do whatever it is possible, necessary to make that other person also happy because it's supposed to be reciprocal. All right. Let's see. Brother Al out here driving 45 miles one way every day.
50, working on 51 years.
Of marriage and ready to do all of that just to feed, and they got people there that feed you. Yeah. There's people there that's going to take care of your every need, but I'm your husband.
Come on.
And so
I'm going to
do what I need to do to get, come on here. What? Wow. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Let's see. He's tired. Okay. Good night. Just cash at me. Bless up. I don't know what I'm going to do with you, girl. Thank you so much, Danielle, for joining us. She says, I cook and he do the dishes after dinner every night. That's what I'm talking about. And Marta, the smarter virtual assistant, she says, want a healthy relationship? You got to work at it. Relax, relate, communicate. It is only $17.99 right now on sale at bit.ly/MM3LINKS. Thank you for reminding us about that. And there's a free download that you all haven't gotten, the 10 things that happy couples do every day. Then you need to go on over there and find it. It will bless your life. We promise you that absolutely for the free $99. All right. Let's see. I cook and he do the dishes. I see a number one. I see another number one. Kimmy Doll's putting the one in the chat. That's 100. That's 100 love. Hey, sir. Appreciate you, Dr. Keith. Thank you for joining us tonight, man of God. Appreciate you so much. She said, Danielle says, yeah, we know you go to bed in the morning laughing out loud. Oops, did I say that? See, you white folk got to be shady up.
Speaking of shady, where is our daughter Deidre?
Deidre done fell off to sleep. Deidre done fell off to sleep. But thank you guys for putting the number ones in the chat. One of the elements, the first element that we want to talk about, because here's the thing. When we are talking about these elements, we said that there's 9 of them. And when I was looking, I said, God, why is there 9 that we were able to discover? And he said that there was 9 fruit of the Spirit.
Right. 9 gifts.
9 gifts of the Spirit. Oh, it got cold in here. Okay, just shady. The 9 fruit of the Spirit. There's 9 gifts. There's the revelatory gifts, the speaking gifts, and the I can't remember the other 3. The miracles. The 3 is 3, 3, and 3. A trio of 3s of the gifts, and there's also fruit. And there are 9 fruit. The 9 fruit, according to Galatians 5:22, is faithfulness, gentleness, goodness, joy, kindness, long-suffering, love, peace, and self-control. And so the first element that we were able to identify when we're talking about the element of intimacy in a relationship, number 1 is healing.
Wow.
Okay. Yes. And let me tell you something. There is a super healing aspect when you have intimacy in a relationship, because we have all suffered. Listen, for the most part, all of us have gone through at least one relationship that we're thinking to ourselves, what in the world did I get myself into? What was that all about? Was I drunk the whole relationship? Did I lose a part of my natural mind? Why did I allow this person to treat me this way? Or why was I done a certain thing to you? There's questions that we still have from that.
There are people who suffer from a skin abnormality.
Abnormality.
That is called keloids.
Oh, wow.
Keloids in the
Yes.
skin are caused by trauma
Mhm.
to the skin.
Mhm.
It may be a piercing where it does not heal properly. In
And
fact,
it
you get more
scars.
scars. So it's caused by trauma. People have in relationships suffer trauma. They often suffer trauma. They often have scars
Mhm.
from their relationship.
Oh, yes.
And should you re-injure yourself or get into a situation, the same situation may again produce the same thing. Keloids, they're recurring, they're obtrusive. They come when they just, it's like a parasite. It
Wow.
attaches itself to you when I didn't want you.
Wow.
I didn't do anything to deserve this. Why do I have this?
Right.
And so the same thing happens in relationships. You get everything except healing.
Wow.
You get scarring.
Oh, my
And so
goodness.
there ought to be a place in your relationship that involves healing. Touching, your touches to your mate ought to be healing, right?
Restoring us to a place called wholeness.
Come on, absolutely.
And when we are broken, we need healing.
Absolutely. So you may go into a relationship having some scars.
Yes.
And very often people not even aware of
Right.
those scars. And that's why we believe that premarital, some counseling,
Oh, yes.
something in that
Oh,
area to
yes.
getting you healed or whole
Oh, yes.
is important. And it's particularly that important that you and your mate talk about those things before you go in,
Amen.
because you don't want another abuser in your
Oh,
life.
Lord have mercy.
All right.
That's not what we want, right?
Oh my goodness.
All right.
That-
Marta, the smarter virtual assistant, says bloodsuckers. Yes.
Wow.
There are some emotional vampires that we have had in our lives, and it has given us emotional distress. And so one place, Dr. Keefe said, I have known some keloid people come through here. Yes, Lord. And so here's the thing. There has to be a process of restoring us. Healing is restoring us to our original state. When God made us, He made us complete and whole and balanced. But when we become injured, abused, traumatized, we end up being broken. We end up being sick. We end up being scattered. And so we have to get to that place of restoration. And how does God do it? He does it through intimacy in that relationship. Yes. Because even though we are husbands and wives, even though it's a male and a female thing, there are still those elements of, I was robbed of some things when I was young. And so now I have a husband that even though he is not my father, that he has shown what a father should look like. And so it restores my thought process of what a real father is supposed to look like. It's going to bring me to the place to restore hope in that whole arena so that I feel calm enough, I feel balanced enough now that when I have a child with this particular gentleman, that now I can see that those places in me that had been broken, that had been messed up, that my thought patterns were disrupted, that now this healing comes in.
That's right. So the conversation is important to produce healing. Not just the touch, but the conversation that you carry on.
Yes, Lord.
Conversations, we talked about this, that in communication, very often, nobody's talking, nobody's listening. Everybody's yelling.
True.
Or they're giving each other the silent treatment.
Yep.
Tit for tat. So those things are not conducive
to healing.
To a healing environment.
I remember it was Joyce Meyer. She said she'd been married before and she'd also been abused by her natural father, physically, sexually, emotionally abused, and her mother as well. And she said that when she got together with her husband, Dave, and I know this story because it's so, kind of mirrors the stuff that I had to deal with. And she said that when she got together with Dave, that Dave wasn't that person that was there. He wasn't the one with his finger on her. And so she had a different type of freedom and doesn't even understand why I'm feeling like I should be guilty because I'm free.
Wow.
Okay. So now you have to retrain your brain. You have to now go back into those recesses that you are that scared little girl. You are that abused little girl. And you need to now become an adult. And this other person is the one that's helping you. She said that her husband covered her even when she wasn't sure about who she was. He was never intimidated. And when she came with her gift and calling in God, that he wasn't even intimidated in that. Because even now, there's some men out here, Keto Russo, that they will be so upset that they will be in competition with their wife. She making more money than me. And so they will get upset. They will be mad about that thing and want to make you come home and stay, even though y'all are struggling when she was making more money.
Wow.
And so now that she's together with this man, now that I'm together with you, I told you it took me 2 years. Okay. We've been married for 14, almost going in 14 years. But it took me almost 2 years being married to this man to let my guard down on certain things. It was 2 years that I was dealing with hurts and pains from the times from past. It was an imbalance. And my husband would do this thing here. I would start to going off because of an infraction from somebody dumb. All right. Blink, blink. And my husband would look at me and he would get my attention. He was like, honey, look, it's me. It's Gregory Dale. It's Gregory Dale. And I had to snap out of, because at one point, y'all, real talk, I was like, you got a penis? I don't want nothing to do with you. Get away from me. You are part of the problem. Right?
Now, and David, the pastor's husband, David, he is she will tell you, and I've heard her testify that at times she was very rough with him. She would take things out on him that he didn't even have a clue what was going on. So it takes a certain kind of man who will see the hurts and work beyond them. Who will look beyond them, who will work. Don't take it personally. Guys, if she has a period, and women of certain ages do have those, if everything is
working the way that
it should, they're going to have those, and they're going to be different during those times.
Yes.
Emotionally, they may, and so you have to, that's the place where you have to roll up your sleeves.
Hello.
And go to work. You have to serve them.
God. Amen.
Right?
That's right.
You have to honor them. You have to nurture them back to that place of wholeness. Because look, anybody who bleeds 12 years is going to have some real stuff going on. I mean, and it doesn't have to be 12 years for a person to be anemic.
That's right.
They can bleed monthly and be anemic.
Yes.
Be weak in a weakened condition, missing some of the vital minerals, iron, those things that are necessary to having good health. So what we're saying is that you are to promote her healing. Now, I'm talking from the male perspective, but ladies, you have a very critical role, because most men, I was saying to someone today that most of us men, our daughter Amber Dawn, I was telling most of us men, until we get someone in our lives, we don't really take good care of ourselves. I mean, we kind of exist. We'll eat, but we won't eat right. It's almost like we don't have the motivation to really take good care of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But when we have a good woman in our lives, we want to live.
Amen.
You want to be you want to be strong. You want to be robust. You want to be her burly guy, whatever. So that's what we're saying. So you promote that healing in us as well, and you're critical. Sometimes we may not know that we toss and turn when we sleep. We may not realize that we're kicking while we're asleep. We may not realize that our breathing is changing, or we're not breathing at all at
True.
some point when we
True.
sleep, right?
That's the truth.
Until we get the right person. Look, we're going to lose our IG audience.
We'll be
And
right
we're
back.
gonna, look, what we're going to do, and I think that we've broken the ice on this
Mhm.
one. We'll continue to talk about healing on tomorrow night.
Mhm.
All right? We'll continue this tomorrow night. Thank you for being with us, Pastors
Yes.
Greg and Michelle. Marriage Makes Three. Marriage Makes Three.com. Hashtag GD and me. Uh, Go get these resources.
Yes.
Go get these very important resources. Love you, IG. See you tomorrow. Family, we're going to get out of here. We're going to continue this. If you like this content, come on, give a oh yeah, give a hey, I'm
Shout it
loving
out.
this. Let's continue this. Let's do this
Amen.
tomorrow. Dr. Keith, we love you, sir. Thank you for being here with us.
Kimmy Doll said only a real man will fix a heart he didn't break
Love it,
and
Kimmy.
help unpack a bag that he didn't pack.
Come
Amen.
on,
That's the truth.
that's a
That is the
tweet right
truth.
there, Kimmy.
Dr. Keith says, pull it together, divided by two, and you both make the same thing. That's right.
Wow.
Hey there,
Love
lovely
it,
Brittany
sir.
Hawkins. How are
Yeah,
you,
lovely,
lady? Thanks for
lovely.
joining us tonight. Appreciate you, sweetheart. All right.
Brittany.
Thank you so much, Dr. Keith, for being a part. And we have Sister Shirley. Thank you so much for being a part of Marriage Makes Three. Want to make sure that you know that we have for you available right now. You can go and get a download free. Absolutely free. 10 things that happy couples do every single day. It's a 10-step guide and has a bonus video that goes along with it with the instructions that is going to help you to be all that you need to be with your mate. Hey, Angie doll. Love you, sweetheart. We love you, sweetheart. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate those of you that have come in, that have shared the broadcast. And we want you to know that we are here for you Tuesday through Thursday between 9 and 9:30-ish Central Standard Time. We're giving you tools to help you to get your relationships on and popping. Tonight, we were talking about the elements of relationship intimacy. We only got to number one.
Yeah.
So we'll be back because there's 9 of them.
Yes.
So we got 8 more to go.
So we got a long intro.
We do.
2 nights of introduction.
We do. Because there was so much that we needed to say.
Yeah.
And you know, here's the thing. Every time before we broadcast, you always pray with us that God will allow those people to come in that need what we have.
Yes.
And that he would allow us to speak what's necessary.
Yeah.
And so you guys don't know there's somebody out there that's looking, that's watching, may not have even come in directly inside the broadcast, but listening from the outside. And there's some things that you heard tonight that has blessed you, that has answered some of the questions that you have. And we want you to know that we are here for you. You need a free 15-minute encounter session. You can go to the link in our bio, which is at bit.ly/MM3LINKS. And let me tell you something, it's going to help you. I'm telling you, it will help you. We have right now a newer product that's called Relax, Relate, and Communicate. And what that is it is a whole guide. There's several pages in the workbook. There's Marta. Hey, Lori, thanks for joining. You didn't get the notification. You've gotta subscribe or put it. You have to, with your following, you got to do something in order for it to come on. But we're going to leave the replay up. Relax, Relate, Communicate contains everything that you're going to need in one place. So it's going to help to guide you through your conversation, some difficult ones that you may be having or need to have with your mate. Things that we go through, the differences between men and women. We talk about the 15 areas to explore before exploding. We talk about the 5, the communication wheel, and the 5 action steps in conversing. We talk about the 7 guidelines for talking it out. There's a mirroring technique that you need to learn and you need to apply. There is the conversation challenge. Those are some things that you want to talk about. We've got it so that you can mark on your little workbook and that you can prepare yourself to go in and do the work. We understand that everybody is not going to be able to come in for a counseling session. Some of you have mates that are like, nope, not me. I'm never going in there. But you still need to know how to approach them so that you have the best possible opportunity to get through to them what it is that you need to communicate. The last thing that we talk about in there is the sandwich technique. All of that is in there. I'm telling you what, that package right there, that's worth gold. I wish these were some things that I had known years ago. I may not have been divorced. Gregory Dale, you may not have been divorced, but you know what? We know them now. And not only that, you know what? Sometimes we know it, but the other people that we're involved with, they just not trying to have it. And so you have to come to the place where you are whole and complete in yourself prior, so that regardless if they hear you, the elders would say in my country, whether they hear or they forbear. That's good. That you were able to articulate what it is that you needed and what you wanted. Now it's up to them to receive, because when you put the ball in their court, they have the volley. They have the opportunity to accept it or to reject it. But when you know that you have done your part, you can go to God at night and you can say, Lord, I did all that I knew how to do. I'm going to go to bed tonight. I have no regrets. Father God, whatever it is that you need to deal with them on so that they can hear me, then Lord, you do the job, because I've done all that I could do. So find that over there. It's called Relax, Relate, Communicate. It's only $17.99 right now at marriagemakesthenumber3.com, or you could check the link in the bio. Y'all, we thank you so much for being a part of our broadcast. We appreciate you all, and we love that you are a part of our family. There may be somebody else that needs to know where we are or who we are. We are trusting you guys to share the broadcast when we come in. We are trusting you guys to tell people about GD and me at Marriage Makes Three. Amen. Sister Shirley says the Father has the roadmap for our lives and not us. Amen to that. All right. We appreciate you guys again. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Marta, for moderating for us. Thank you, Kimmy Doll, for dropping some of the information that everyone needs in the chat. And listen, guys, come back tomorrow night where we'll be on part number 3. Wow. And we only on number 1. When we come back for part number 3 of what is it? The elements of intimacy. Relationship intimacy, part number 3. Okay, I got it that time. All right. We appreciate you guys. Remember what we always say here. God loves you, and we love you. And ain't a thing you can do about it. Up in here. Not up in here. We'll see you all on tomorrow. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Lord bless.